loves, it's Laura Ann Chappell here, and I'm coming at you this week for your dosing of soul magic. Your magic is the person that you are when you are living fully from the heart. You're not caught up here in the mind. You are experiencing whatever it is in front of you from the portal of your body. You are feeling life and in a two-way dialogue through your heart and what it is that your heart is experiencing. This loving exchange with you and the world, or whatever people it might be, drops you into a seat of awareness that we call your soul. And your soul is where your magic lies. Your magic is you at your brightest, most alive, beaming, goofiest, wackiest, silliest self. And I am so excited to be sharing this workshop with you today to unveil your magic. So I'm going to tell you a little story about me unveiling my magic to the world. And this is really a continual process. I feel every single day I become a little bit more goofy and a little bit more silly, and I let my woo-woo out to show to the world, but I don't show it to everyone. And it really takes me back to not even that long ago, maybe just as I was beginning this spiritual journey 4 years ago, and my need to please was so high. And it was really rooted in this deeper need for acceptance. So regardless of whatever situation I would be in, with friends, with family, at work, I would find myself wearing these masks. And every single one would be different. I had an entire line of Laura's stacked up, ready to go for these different contexts and situations. And none of it made me feel good. In fact, it made me feel so deeply drained. And this was really when I began to see the error of my own ways. And I began to see that the energy vampire for me was myself. I was my own limitation. I was draining my own energy through my inability to really stay within the seat and the soul of who I am. And the past 4 years have been a journey of coming back to that, an unfolding, an unlayering of what is already in there. And what I have learned is what is at the core essence of my very being is so much magic. I'm funny. I'm feisty. I am deeply, deeply spiritual and creative and intuitive. I am a deep, deep, deep lover. And all these aspects of me that I had really tightly kept enmeshed within, because I didn't want to hurt anybody else. I didn't want to inflict my magic, my power on anybody else. My ego was protecting this inner light, this inner magic within me. And I know that at the core essence of every single being is this light. We are all bright, shining light, living in love and joy and play. That is what exists right at the center stone of every single human being, which is why we take this journey. Whoever asked me the question, why do we do this? Why do we heal? Why do we invest in this self-work? And to me, the answer is so simple. When we heal, we increase our capacity to experience the magnificence of life. And the magnificence of life for me comes from within. The magnificence of life is seeing everything for its beingness and living in a state of pure, unbounding joy. And that joy consists of play. It consists of love. It consists of ultimate silliness, goofiness, just being a complete geek. Your unfiltered self. So at the very, very core of my being lays this healer. And this little child that just wants to play and share this magnificence with as many people as possible. Because when we start bringing this out, when we start living in our play, our entire world around us transforms. We light up, and our light lights others up. And before we know it, there is this butterfly effect of upliftment. And I know sometimes I can also be incredibly serious, and that's my German edge that comes in. I have this polarity of energy, of silliness and seriousness. Yet I feel that there is a seriousness to play. There is a seriousness to being silly. Because I've been there. I've been a serious, masked, cloaked version of me, and that didn't feel good. We need more play in the world. We need more light. We need more joy. So if that requires my seriousness to bring it out in the world, then so be it. So today in this workshop, I invite you to allow the inner essence of you to step out, to be seen, to learn the parts of you that have been hidden, that are truly who you are. And then watch the magic unfold. So now I have illustrated to you the magic that exists within all of us. I now want to talk a little bit about the magic vampires. As light beings and star souls, you have chosen to be born into environments, communities, systems that are there to dampen and suck your light. And I want to remind you in this moment that you chose that. Before you came down here, you chose to have the challenge and opposition of vampires so that you know how it is to be devoid of light. You know how it feels to have your light sucked and taken away from you, your life force. so that as you awaken and as you come more deeply into the center of yourself, you appreciate and understand the value of living wholeheartedly within your light. And these energy vampires are real. They are so real, coming to us in people, in systems, in cultures, in beliefs, in anything outside ourselves that we give our power to, and therefore open up an exchange for our light to be taken. As a light being and star soul, you will know, you will have your own journey. Whether it's an abusive relationship, whether it is an oppressive culture or religion, whether it is a dark inner belief of not being good enough, of not allowing your light to shine, such as my own story. Whatever it is for you, it is there for the pure sake of your empowerment and your growth. There will come a time when you will rise far, far, far beyond this vampire. And when that time comes, you will release so much of the shackles and the chains that perhaps you feel as weight holding within your system and your life right now. And this sense of empowerment that will come from rising above will be the catalyst for what allows you to become lighter and lighter and lighter within your being. This energy vampire is there to suck your light. Perhaps there are more than one, a collective of vampires, beginning this journey of really deepening into our true identity as light beings, as star souls, really becomes from identifying who those vampires have been, what those vampires have been, where they are in your life right now. And the moment that we become aware, we can begin to consciously draw our light back, take our power back, placing boundaries. And in that process, we become lighter and lighter and lighter. And the lighter that we become, the more magic we become. And this process is to be fallen in love with. Fallen so deeply in love with. Whether you are right at the beginning of this awakening journey or knee deep within, this is speaking to the glimmer of light within you that you know becomes free, becomes alive, allows all the cells in your body to light up. And we catch glimpses throughout our awakening journey of this person who we never in our wildest dreams thought that we were or could be. There are a few contexts that can really help you more deeply understand who you are in your magic. So think of a friend, a really good friend, somebody that you trust wholeheartedly. And then think about when you're engaging with that friend, whether it be on the phone or in person. Who are you in that context? Who do you become? And how does that differ to the person that perhaps you show in the other walks of your life? In maybe the less close relationships or your workplace. Who is the person that you are when you're entirely alone? So I really love to ask my clients, if I was a fly on the wall in your home, what would I see? What would I see you do? I know that I see you now and I'm engaging with you, but how are you in your deepest sense of being when you're entirely alone? I know that I'm like jerking and skipping around in the kitchen, talking to myself, nerding out on like deep new age spiritual wacky stuff. I know that I'm deeply sensual and love to have time with myself in the bath and rubbing nice oils on my body. I know that I love to just break out in dance. So I ask you that same question. Who are you when you are entirely alone? What do you think of? How do you feel? How do you spend your time? The other question that I really like to ask clients is to take me back to a memory when you felt most alive and connected within yourself. And we tap in and connect to the soul, and the soul guides visually feeling sense back to a moment, more often than not symbolizing a time when you felt so free and so in trust with the universe and the process of life. And just from opening up that gateway of a memory to all these aspects of who you are come flooding back to you. These parts that perhaps now you just get glimpses of. Tap back into those memories. Ask your guides, ask your higher self to take you back to a time when you were living wholeheartedly in your magic. Magic makers are things that really bring you energy. And these things are going to be wildly different between you and I. But I'm going to share with you a few energy makers that really allow my magic to come out, that I create my life around. The first is sleep. I know that if I don't have enough sleep, I am grumpy and grouchy and in a state of contraction. So, prioritizing my sleep and making sleep a really luxurious process is almost the highest priority for me in my life. It's what allows me to be in my magic, in my soul. The second, which I know you'll see me do a lot of, is being in nature. Like the expanse of the open outdoors brings to me a sense of freedom that I cannot evoke from anything else. So, spending time connecting to the sea, to the trees, to the land, not only awakens my creativity and delivers me insight, but it is also a real piece of my soul medicine. Chatting to very good friends, people who know me so well at a soul level, and those that I can just drop into an immediate sense of peace and safety and acceptance. Like long conversations for 2 hours, scaling topics, allows my magic to come out. Being in my body. Like when I'm in my mind, I'm not in my magic. When I am in my body, moving and just being and experiencing life as it is without thinking about it, allows my magic to unfold. And then the final is just laughter and silliness. Like I live by myself. Yeah, I make a conscious effort every day to laugh. Either that is through speaking with a friend, or I just laugh by myself. I'll do some laughter yoga and just evoke the sense of play and silliness. So important for joy and upliftment. So, magic takers, things that will deplete and block your magic from coming out. Once again, this is my own personal experience of magic takers, which I will share with you for you to stimulate a list of your own. So, first, narcotics. It's really simple, right? Poison. It's going to kill your magic, even though at the time it makes you feel so much more confident and exuberant. And then you wake up the next morning and you want to crawl up into a little ball. Like there is a reason why these substances are so addictive. Not only for the commercial aspect, alcohol, drugs, coffee, nicotine are all suppressants of one's magic. Yet they make you feel as though they are expressants of your magic. So for me, they are in the drain category. The next are back to the magic vampires. I like to call these the energy vampires. People who have a tendency just to want to take. They want to take your time. They want to express everything that's going on with them without having an exchange and holding space for you. Or maybe they want to take your energy, steal your ideas. Whatever it is, there are these vampires out there who will drain your magic from you. It doesn't make these people any worse, any better. They are still individuals on their own awareness journey, yet they haven't reached that place yet of conscious awareness of energy exchange and how it is an exchange. So, getting really clear on the people in your life that don't make you feel energized, they make you feel drained. And then making a pact to just stop investing in those relationships. The third one is weak boundaries, and this is a huge one. One of the biggest drains of your magic will be saying yes to something when you really mean no. And I know this coming from a deep, deep, deep pleasing state of being. Having weak boundaries and allowing your boundaries to slide and evaporate will not only move you out of a place of sovereignty and integrity, that it will also drain all of your magic. Next, technology. Technology is all consuming, all invasive, yet so much of our life now is based on technology. Really limiting the amount of time that I spend on screens every day has such an impact on whether I can manage my own levels and remain in my magic. More often than not, I fall off the wagon, but those days when I really stay strong on my boundaries, I come out the other side glowing and radiant and ready for another day to begin. And then the final energy drain for me, my mind. I have a very powerful mind, and it has served me, it does serve me so well in so many ways. But when I spend too much time in my mind, too much time analyzing and going deep into things, I invite in a dialogue between the aspects of me that aren't so nice, the inner critic, the inner judge. So I find that having a practice of embodiment every single day reminds me to not spend so much time in the mind, because my magic exists here, not here. So to live a life from the portal of your heart in your magic takes a conscious effort. Everything in life worth having takes work. So if you feel inspired and empowered to create this way of living that invites your magic to the forefront and to come out, then you have to make a commitment to yourself to consciously create that. And that conscious creation means investing your energy only into that which inspires and uplifts your being. Allowing everything else that doesn't to fall, to crumble to the side. And I know that feels daunting. I've been there time and time again. I still am going through this process of building, crumbling, and then lightening my being. And that letting go process is always turbulent. And there is a grieving process. Yet saying no to things that don't serve you and letting go makes space for the new to come in. So your work of magical living doesn't exist in creating the new. It exists in releasing and surrendering the old. Letting go of all that in your life that feels heavy, that feels weighty, that feels as though it takes you down rather than lifts you up. That can be people, relationships, lovers, spaces, jobs, media, wherever it is on a daily basis that you find your energy going to. Getting really honest with yourself. How does this make me feel? How do I feel after this interaction? How do I feel at the end of this working day? How do I feel in these clothes? How does this space make me feel? asking yourself that question and getting really good at asking yourself that question will allow you to enter into this relationship and process with magical life creation. It's okay to say no. It's okay to let things go. In fact, it's crucial if you want to live in your sovereignty and your magic. And maybe that doesn't need to come in some grandeur leaving letter, which I have my fair share of, but just stopping investing in the things that don't bring you up is a gentle, considerate, and kind way to repivot, refocus your life. And as you become more magic, more dropped into the seat of yourself, you will have this freed up energy to invest in people, items of clothing, interiors, whatever it is that lights you up, to cultivate around you a life that only feels good, that only feels inspiring, that only feels magic, because you are magic. Pure, unbounding magic. I really hope that you have enjoyed and gained energy from today's workshop. I would love to know how it rests within you. And I will be following up once this has digested within your being with a workbook to support your process of unveiling your magic out to the world. I am so grateful to have your presence today. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for being courageous. Thank you for being a pioneer. You are here to live wholeheartedly in your light, to uplift and inspire. Thank you.
The soul takes birth, takes incarnation to learn.
I'm gonna have me a real good time, and I know it feels so good.
Takes incarnation to learn. To learn. Our perception of the soul is love, love,